Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, Lottery Fridays. Same thing I told everybody 2 days ago. Remember, the market went up and people said, oh, bull trap. They're trapping us. They're going to buy the market only to sell the market off. And what I said is, this is big money. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars buying into certain stocks. They're not like us traders. They're not buying Google at 114 to sell at 121. They're buying Google at 114 to sell at 145. They're buying Google at 116 to sell at 157. Same with Amazon. They're not buying Amazon at 109 to sell at 119. They're buying Amazon at 109 to sell at 143. So when people think, oh, it's a pump, the dump is coming. Yes, eventually the dump is coming. The market is overvalued in my estimation. Doesn't mean we can't ride the momentum up even more. You saw NVIDIA crossover, what, 300, 301 pre-market. Where did it end up? About 317. AMD, same thing. Palantir options. Remember Palantir options. Sorry. I'm in the, $9.50 calls. I mentioned earnings came out. The stock spiked past $10. It would come back to there. I'm in the $9.50 calls. I was in at $19 each. I sold them for $24 each. They're probably going to be close to $250 each this morning, like an 1,100% return. So I'm still beating myself up over that, but I've got a good one, and it's going to come in this morning, and I plan to sell and get out on open because it's popping pre-market. So let's talk about what happened yesterday and who predicted this could happen yesterday. Now, if I wanted to bore you guys, I shot a video last Friday, May 11th, and I mentioned, don't be surprised when we're trading at $412 and the next day we're trading around $422, a pop of like 10 points. I mentioned it 3%. I said, don't be surprised if we see that. And we saw it yesterday. So was yesterday and the day before a farce? No, because debt ceiling, the government, the Senate, House Speaker McCarthy, they're all saying positive things going forward, and the U.S. cannot default. I'm not sure what will end up being worked out. And to be honest, next week when there's more volatility surrounding the debt ceiling, I'm going to be more cautious, but I'm definitely riding the wave. What did I mention? If you look at the dark pool levels on the SPY, and we can all do this together, and you'll see the dark pool levels from yesterday. Let me just find that Discord. Here we go. Let's go. Where would dark pool levels be? Probably in this room, flows and algos. And I just looked at it earlier on this morning. So we'll find the dark pool level right around. Oh, there it is. Dark pool level for the SPY. Great. Got it on the screen. That's a good thing for today. All right. What did I mention? I mentioned once we cross that 415.69 level right here, and let's remember we were trading in this zone right underneath. Once we cross this, I mentioned you have a ghost zone. Ghost zone meaning very little supply and demand at 417, at 418, almost 419. So it was not a surprise that we went to 420. In fact, let's go back to my room of trading. Yesterday morning, pre-market, I mentioned on YouTube that we could potentially see something like a drop to 413 and a spike to 418. We didn't even see 413. What did we see? We saw 414, which would make me think we're going to 419. But what did I say yesterday? Okay, SPY was here. Notice the ugly drop. Mentioned on Twitter that we'd probably bounce off 417. We did not. We went all the way down to 416. I gave my SPY end-of-day prediction. Remember, 417.38. I had a bit of an emergency, and then I put down at 11:38 in the morning. 11:38 in the morning, the SPY was still trading under 417. I'm still eyeing 420. I'm still a bear. I'm just riding the market. So again, just because you're a bear and you understand reality and the market should come down a whole bunch doesn't mean it's going to happen. Let's remember, big money controls the market. So what would I like to look at today? Well, I like to check out what everybody else is looking at first. So I'm like, okay, Amazon, the cost or the premiums for puts is coming down. The premiums for calls is going up while the price goes up. That could be looked at as bearish. It could also flip. I'm looking at Google. Okay, Google's right in line with net premiums and the price, and they're still buying. Where is the put action? Down here. That's also bullish. Tesla, I heard a bunch of people talking about Tesla could pop. They're buying the put premiums, but I actually expect this to fall under the call premiums, and I expect Tesla to be bullish today. Now we'll see, because if you remember my prediction heading into yesterday, I said Wednesday was pretty freaking strong, right? Wednesday was pretty freaking strong. You see this line here ripping up past. I said Thursday is likely to continue, with Friday possibly being consolidation. I actually thought Thursday could be consolidation, range trade, and Friday we would spike to end the week, or Thursday we would spike to end, and then Friday we might consolidate or fluctuate a little. Now I'm hoping Friday morning, this morning, we get a bit of a jump. Why? Because I'm feeling so sick and nauseous today that I just want to get in my bed and go to sleep. But I'm in a number of positions that I plan on securing profit. So I'd like to see a pump on open. Just checking out one of my positions right now, FCX. Let's remember, last week I mentioned 3 different stocks. I mentioned U.S. Steel, and it wasn't even last week. It was like the beginning of this week. I mentioned sector rotation, U.S. Steel, $21. Where is it today? It's over $22. Those $22.50 calls that were $4 will likely be somewhere close to $20 this morning. 400% return. The options I'm looking to sell in FCX today that I got in yesterday, I specifically bought in, I think it was the 36.5 calls. FCX is at 35.68, so I'm $1 out of the money. I paid $6 a contract. I think I bought about 15 contracts. I'm looking to get $30 out of them this morning, a 5x return. All right, with that said, let's talk about what's going on in the market. Then we'll talk about SPY ranges, what to look for. Pre-market, Nike shares were down about 2%, Under Armour 2%. Why? Because Foot Locker screwed up all of retail again. It's hurting my Macy's position. Again, Macy's was up over 120% return. I didn't sell because I thought Macy's might have another little pop in it, but Foot Locker seems to be taking down some retail. Under Armour, which is nothing special. Here's a good one. NVIDIA is up 121% since January 1st, right? Yesterday marked the highest call volume since March of 2022 and harkens back to the meme mania days of 2021. 60% or over 60% of the call options on NVIDIA that were bought yesterday were tied to expiration today. So they bought the options yesterday. They were expiring today over 60%. So that's pretty crazy. Now, I did notice TrendSpider, end of the day, mentioned millions of dollars of SPY, hefty, out of the money puts came through. Remember, we have Papa J. Powell speaking today. For those of you that would like some entertainment, follow me on Twitter. I re-released a deep fake of Papa Powell basically telling the bears that they're fucked today. Whoops, watch my language. Yesterday's top options, okay? SPY, 6 million option contracts were traded. 45% calls, 55% puts. Now understand, these puts could always be a hedge. It doesn't mean that these option traders think the market's going down. If you're in, you have a portfolio money under management of $1 billion and you spiked 6% in the past 2 days, what would you be likely to do? Well, shit, I would be likely to take a couple 100,000 and take some SPY puts against the market consolidating and my positions going down by 1.5% after they just rose 6%. Makes sense. S&P notches its highest close since August as the U.S. rally on hopes for the debt ceiling. Yeah, I get it. I mentioned the 420 on the SPY. I mentioned my XPX. What do I like to use? I like to use Discord. I look at 0 days till expiration, GEX SPY. What does that tell me? Well, yesterday when I snapshotted this, I said we're going to be trading and we'll find support at 416. So when we hit 418 on the SPY and the market sold off, I said 416 would be support. Now, volume was light and they weren't sure they were going to support 416, but what ended up happening, 416 ended up being support. Where did we go to end of the day? 420. And who was loading into the options? Big money, because they control the market. So everybody that says, oh man, they're just going to pull the rug on us. And I see so many comments on Webull, moomoo, Twitter. Yeah, the rug pull's coming. Understand, all this big money, Wall Street money, say a couple $100 million go into the market. They're not going into the market saying, yeah, we're really going to screw with retail traders. We're going to put this 400 million in, and then we're going to rip it out, and the retail traders are going to get crushed. That is one of the dumbest things that I've heard. multiple hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars don't go into the market so they could fool you, Steve, or Mark, or Jed, or Stacy, or Sue. You're like, man, they did that to trick me. That's not the case. This money is going into the market to make money. It's not going into the market as a gag gift to say, hey, we faked you out, market's dropping. I did shoot a video yesterday talking about the Fed funds rate and what is the likely scenario for June. Now, although the chances of a 25 basis point increase for June went up from 12% to 40%, which is what I spoke about, I still do not think we're going to see a rate hike in June. I know the Fed is talking. I think it would be extremely hard for us to see. It would put so much severe pressure on the banks. All right. Here are these Palantir calls, man. Palantir calls at 11.28. It's $1 higher. These Palantir calls are going to be what? $3 this morning, in for $19. God, that's like 1,400%. Cool chick mentioned Uber yesterday. What did I tell her on Discord? Millions worth of call sweeps came across yesterday at 10:37 a.m. So what did I do? At 10:38 a.m., I dropped a note on Trader Chat on Discord. I tagged her because she was curious about that. We could talk about my SPY trade from, here it is. SPY trade, you know what? I'll just go onto Discord, share that with you because I thought I was kind of silly, but I really liked it because I thought the market was getting stronger. So you guys are like, what the hell is he talking about? I am talking about, let's go to Matt's trades. Here we go. Right. So we ended the day on Wednesday, right? And what was I doing? I was buying SPY $418 calls that expired Friday for 56 cents. 56. I was actually in at 66, almost $67 per contract. They kept dropping. I went green the end of the day. I started red yesterday. Here we go, right? 62 cents. What did I do? I sold them for $1. I sold them for $1. Where did they close yesterday? At $2. Where are they going to open up this morning? The SPY is gapping up. How do I find out where they're going to open up this morning? Easy. What do I like to do? Now, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but we generally have a moomoo link underneath so you guys can open a moomoo account. I'm going to show you what I like to do. I will look at the SPY, and I'll show you how I figure out the SPY calls. So I'm on moomoo, right? I'm on moomoo. Here's your SPY, right? Here's what I do. I go to the options section. I make sure my date's in there. I had the $418 calls, okay? You can see right here, they closed at $200 a contract. What do? I like to go down to moomoo and I put in the underlying price where it is now 420.67, and it tells me that my theoretical price for these options would be $322. Now, Robinhood doesn't do that. Webull doesn't do that. I love to use moomoo because I'm saying to myself, man, I want to get out and open. If the SPY is trading at 320.69, what are my options going to be worth on open? And I use moomoo, and it's like, now your options for the 323 are now worth $320. But I use it on my stock. My stock is up 1.5% this morning. My options, right, because they're out of the money, are worth $3.06, 3 cents and 6 cents. However, I use moomoo, and it tells me my 3-cent options, I'll be able to get $15 a contract. And my $6 options or 6-cent options, it's telling me I'm probably going to be able to get $30 or $31 a contract. So again, I'm going to watch these prices as we get to market open. I'm going to put in my order, and I'm going to look for 400, 300, 500% return. I'm going to be very specific. So if you like what I'm doing, first off, thank you, cool chick. Hit that like button. I'm here every morning, and it's not about bragging or talking. I mean, I can tell you a number of people that I follow on Twitter that just talk so much smack. Who wants 1,000% banger? Hey, remember last year when I put in 3,000, I turned it to $1 million on one Tesla trade? Who wants to see me do it again? Well, shit. Everybody wants to see it. But all of these guys, not all of them, most of these people on Twitter that talk about wins, never any losses, they're full of shit. And if you're following these people going, man, this guy is just awesome. This guy, look at him. He's driving a Rolls Royce. He's got a Bugatti right there. He's got a couple. I mean, it's all a crack of shit. So please trade your own strategy. Do not get sidetracked by these people that are like, hey, man, I'm doing this, because you don't understand how much money they have in their account. So let's get right to it. Money management, okay? You have $1,000 in your account. The most you should be trading in any one trade should be $100. I like to diversify. So you're buying a contract for $50, another $50. It goes down. You're like, all right, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to buy two more, cut my average cost. You're in for $200. That's still okay. You're still 20%. When you're 100% of your value of your portfolio, I don't care if it's 500 and you're all 500 in this one contract, or you're 1,000, you're all 1,000 into ExxonMobil, whatever it is, you're putting yourself at risk, especially with the SPY, especially 0 days till expiration. We have a trader on our platform that was up 43% on SPY puts. Now, at the time, I'm telling him, I think the SPY is going to go up. He could not sell his SPY put, one contract, SPY put, because he could not day trade. He's ran out of day trades. So again, please, everybody, cash account. Cash accounts are key. With that said, let's talk about the SPY ranges, things of that nature. So I'll stop sharing the screen. Let's present. Let's go up and share the screen. Here we go. Here we go. Let's share this. Give me 1 second. All right, add to stream. Okay, there we go. Let me go over there. Now, what do I have on FCX? Why? Because that's my lotto position. Where is it up? 60 cents this morning. So when you heard me talking about my $3 contracts and my $6 contracts that are going to yield 300, 400, 500%, here it is. I'm hoping it actually goes to 36.35. That's what I computed my average as far as my exit strategy. But let's get to the SPY. So we got to the SPY 2-hour chart. Who cares about this 2-hour chart? Let's go to that 5-minute chart, okay? So when we go back to yesterday, we saw some heavy buying, and we're about 19 down to 16. So we're about 2 p.m. here. Let's see if I can get a 10-minute, 15-minute chart. Let's see what we got here. Okay, 15-minute chart. Here we go. So we see yesterday morning, what you can see is the volume. Again, most of the volume happens at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, okay? And you can see that here as well. Beginning of the day, end of the day, beginning of the day, end of the day, beginning of the day, end of the day. So yesterday, we were starting with some strong buying, pushed the market up. Market hit 418. What happened? We dropped on small volume. And that's what I was telling everybody. Volume was not heavy. We went from 40 million on the SPY to 44 million on the SPY. So a 4 million SPY. Then we consolidated. Consolidating means once you spike up, you consolidate. You find the base of the new level. Well, we did that. So we shot up here. Now, what could likely happen? We're going to shoot up maybe 420 and a half, 421, 422. Let me get the 5-minute here for you guys. Right? So we might shoot up here to 422. And then what's likely to happen? Consolidation. We'll see a quick sell-off. So right there, you'll lose a point. So we're at 422 hypothetically today when we pull back. Then we go to 421. Then you've got some consolidation. Where can you consolidate? We might go down to 420, find a new base, and then shoot up from there. So if today's going to be a green day, I would say, okay, look for 418 that rejected yesterday to turn into support. And if 418 turns into support and we dip down to 418, then we could rip to 423, 422, 424. That's your bull case scenario. Bull case scenario is we actually go down on open. People are selling the open. Or your bear case scenario, which seems a little more likely because we are popping pre-market. Bear case scenario, meaning we're going to pop. We're going to pop 420 and a half. We go down to 420. Then we shoot up right to 422. At 422, we start to fade a little more. People are like, okay, weekend's coming up. Let me take profit. Understand psychology as well. You've got the weekend. You've got stocks ripping higher. We still have a lot of uncertainty. Debt ceiling, right? We have the war. Oh, here's the war in Ukraine and Russia. Saudi Arabia stepped up this morning and they said, you know what? We're going to mediate this. We're ready to step in. Are you fucking kidding me? Saudi Arabia is ready to step in. What do you think Germany, Poland, the U.S., so many other countries are ready to step in? All right, so next, what do we got here? K-Dub. Yeah, Cleveland Cliffs. Gap up on the 5-minute. Yeah, so unfortunately or fortunately, gap up is great, but you got to look at volume. I was looking at Cleveland Cliffs this morning. It had about 4,000 shares traded or 40,000 shares traded. Because you added, never mind, I won't explain it. I looked at US Steel, same volume. Then I looked at FCX, double the volume. All right. I also know Stephen Weiss. I forget his company name, but they bought in, I think 2 days ago, pushed it up. I'm sure he's not done adding to his position, which is why I got strong FCX. However, I mentioned I feel like crap today. I had a tooth problem. I cracked a tooth yesterday. I got to get it replaced. I've been coughing like crazy. I haven't smoked in over a day, and I still feel like shit. So what am I looking to do today? My strategy, if you don't have focus, you know what you want to get out of your options, you can't trade every day and sit in front of your computer. So me, I'm looking to sell my positions. If I leave some money on the table, so be it. I don't want to stress and make myself worse. So I'm looking to get out within the first 5 or 10 minutes open. Even if I say the market could spike up to 422, which would make my positions worth more money. Let's say it sells off, okay? Bear case, we hit that 422 number and then we drop. I mean, I can't. The only thing that can make us drop is Jay Powell speaking today. I think he's speaking either at 10 or 11 a.m. I think it was 11, but I'm not sure. So please check if you're interested. Mention a couple other stocks that I've been talking about recently. See, I'm looking at the materials play. Materials include materials PreMarket spiking. It's an ETF, low volume. So I'm going to look at that when it opens, but that'll include my FCX, US Steel, Cleveland Cliffs. I've got Starbucks. Why? I don't really want to trade Starbucks. Macy's is a retail. I'd watch out for retail today. Again, following Nike. Energy to me is, again, overrated, but energy is going to follow the market. So if the market actually goes up to the 422, 423, 424, 423, 422, whatever it is, then the energy sector, XLE, it's got to be above 80. It's got to be. They're buying it. Now, again, I still think we're going into recession. Zooming out, I still think there are worries about oil and energy, so I would be extra cautious. Again, I heard a bunch of people talk about Tesla. I won't follow them. I haven't been paying so much attention to Tesla lately. Here's interesting. Coin is down. They're probably not even trading it. Yeah, I knew it was just one person. So silly. One person will buy or sell one share on Webull, and Webull acknowledges that as a trade. So it'll tell you, hey, coin is down 1.8% or whatever it is, while Riot and Mara and Bitcoin are up. However, those people that buy or sell one share thinking it's affecting the market, the only thing you're doing is confusing rookie traders. You see one trade happen and they sell at a cheap point to make it look like the stock is going down. The only people that see that are the people on Webull. Moomoo, Robinhood, TD, Morgan Stanley, Thinkers, all these other platforms and sites, they don't register one share. So although you think you're doing something on Webull, I'm going to sell one share consistently down so that people think the stock is going down or the ETF is going down. The only thing you're doing is wasting your time because you're staring at your computer like, I'm doing one other share, one more share, one more share, one more share. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your money because you're selling below the price. I know you're trying to force the stock down, but think of it. You're one individual, a retail trader trading one share. Do you think Wall Street gives a crap? They don't even know you're trading. Again, the only platform that registers one share is Webull, which I think is just a crap of shit, a load of shit. It's just so funny. What else are we looking at today? I'm not really looking at Upstart. I'm curious as to what D-Dog will do. Why am I mentioning D-Dog? Because I keep mentioning D-Dog every morning. What do they keep buying? They buy technology. So if I see the Qs going up, if I see them buying D-Dog, Amazon, Google, Apple, then I know the Qs are secure. I know retail is having a problem and obviously going to be a bad influence on the Dow. So what am I going to look at on the Dow to combat the retail bad numbers? I'm going to look at Boeing. I'm going to look at Boeing because Boeing contributes 7 times whatever Boeing's move is. Sorry, maybe even 14. It might be 7%. So when Boeing picks up 1 point, you're going to see the Dow move 14 points higher. So along with Boeing, I'm going to follow United Airlines. I'm going to put up Las Vegas Sands and Wynn Casino. I want to follow casino stocks. Maybe healthcare as well. Maybe oil and energy. Those are Dow plays. So although retail Dow stocks are probably going to get hit a little hard today, again, I'm going to spread it out and look. I also want to see if AMD and NVIDIA have pullbacks. If you didn't see it this morning, AMD and NVIDIA kind of sold off pre-market. So I'm like, well, we've seen that before, but what happens? NVIDIA, AMD just go higher. So again, these are certain trackers that I use. So when I have my watch list, I'm like AMD, NVIDIA, Boeing, United Airline. I might look at like Carnival Cruise, Wynn Casino, take care of my Dow stocks. Then I'm going to have Google, Amazon, Apple, Netflix. I can understand if Netflix gives back a little because the shit was up like 30 points yesterday. We had a guy on our platform who sold his Netflix call on Wednesday afternoon. I think he made like 30-40%. That same call went from $1.44 where he sold it all the way up to 3,500. So I mean, everything's about timing. I sell to make money. to take profit. Again, I'm upset about Palantir. I mean, I had what, 10 options. I'm in for under $200. Why did I sell at $240 for those contracts when they're worth what, $2,500 today? I mean, that's what small accounts are looking to do. Oh yeah, I do want to show one more thing. So let's remove this. And here's what you have to do. Be patient, have a strategy. I'm going to share with you what I did. Again, these are under Matt's trades. Let me make sure I added it, which I probably didn't. So I'll do that right now. Add to stream. There we go. So let's find Matt's trades. Where's Discord? Here we go. Now, here's what I want to show you guys yesterday. No, not the Palantir, not the SPY went up after I sold it. Here we go. Not every one of my accounts crush it, okay? I tend to pay myself off this Robinhood account. I used to have $250 in the account, and then I would run it up and then pay myself and start the next week with $250. $249 seems to be a key number. It worked for me last week. I crushed it. $249 last week. Ended with $673. Withdrew $424. $249 starting on Monday. Yesterday, I was at $1030. I'm $132. Now, I could easily have sold here and been like, okay, $132. I'm down 50% on the week or 48% on the week. But I said, no, I have a specific strategy. Just because the market's moving one way and it's against what my thought process was, doesn't matter. I'm going to hold. So I held. What happened not too much later? All of a sudden, my 132 is back at 235. It went to 250 something. I sold. I took profit. I called myself a winner. And then I still have another day and a half, right? Because it's a grind to turn this 235 into 600 and change. And if you come back on Monday, there's a good chance I did it. So if you want to know what I'm trading, you could join Discord. If you want to know how to use the Flow and Algos rooms, you can join Discord. If you want Love's Corner, you can join Discord. All she does is give you helpful information and things that she's looking for. Let's remember, Love is an accounting professor at a major college who was recently into trading probably about 3 years ago and, struggled at first, but crushes it. Let me just see if I got anything else for you guys this morning. I guess we'll see how the market ended. So let's go up to the flows. And here we go. That's Tesla. That's Amazon. What am I going to do? I'm going to look at the net flow for the market. Net flow for the market. We'll see as it was ripping towards the close yesterday, what happened. So unfortunately, this is as large as it gets. So what do we have? White is the price of the market. Okay. SPY. So here we go. 419 and change. What happened to calls? Well, they were loading up calls and the market was going down. So they did sell off, started loading them again here, right? Sold off again, loading them again. Again, if you look at this pattern, it probably makes sense that the premiums are going to go back to this level. And if they do go back to this level, that's going to be extremely strong. So let me just tell you, ending the day yesterday, and I got this from Trady Ticks on Twitter, the call put ratio is strongly in favor of calls. In fact, we haven't had this strong of options spread, I guess, between the calls and the puts dating back to September. Now, does everybody remember what happened in September last year? Yes, markets were at all-time highs. So the people that are on the sidelines saying, yeah, the market's going to throw up on themselves today. Remember what I said towards the beginning of this live stream. Again, people, Wall Street, big money, they're not throwing hundreds of $millions into the market to fool you, Steve, to fool you, Tracy, and say, oh, we're going to pull the rug on you. You won't even know what hit you. The market's just going to drop out of the sky. No, not at all. What's likely? Consolidation, meaning we're going to push to a higher level. If you see a pullback, it just means we're going to consolidate and find a new baseline. If anybody wants to join Discord, I don't know, there should be a link up, but Cool Chick was kind enough to share one. Again, I'm going to head over, going to shoot my pre-market video. I'm going to give you specific ranges for the SPY to look out for. Again, I'm going to use the dark pool levels, understanding that the dark pool level from 420 to about 416 or 415.84 is very minute. So if there was going to be a major drop, the same way we had a major spike yesterday, you could see something like that. But again, major spike, volume of options, they're mostly bullish. I think like, what is it, 66 to 34, maybe it was 64 to 36. Again, that's a major discrepancy. Tesla, bulls loading in. Now, I did see some puts out of the money on the SPY, huge bet, multi-million-dollar bet right into close. Now, what could that be? Again, I mentioned it's probably a hedge from institutions. You've got $100 million in the market. You made 6% the last 2 days. You made $6 million. What are you going to do? I'm going to take $550,000. I'm going to buy SPY puts out of the money so that if there is some contraction and I lose $3 million on this side, I'm going to make $3 million on this side. It's a hedge. It's not a wager or a bet. Large institutions will not do that. Hedge funds will do that. If a hedge fund algorithm tells it that the market's going to drop or spike, let's just say spike because we spiked yesterday. Let's say hedge fund says 424. What are they going to do? They will be placing a bet on the SPY or the SPX options. All right, enough for today. It's Friday, Lotto Friday, 9 a.m. Heading to Discord. Everybody's welcome to join me. I asked Romeo if he was going to live trade today. He didn't get back to me. What a shocker. So he might be live trading. Let's check out Romeo's room, and I'll see everybody in a little bit. Thank you so much.